Alright guys, hello, this is Johnny here, and I'll be putting up some tips and tutorials on how to kick ass in Ra3. Not necessarily, but hopefully this can help you if you're a newer player or a good player. So, I'm gonna try to start off with things kind of basic. I actually made one before this, but it turns out that it was too long for YouTube, and well, it was just very noobish in general, so all I want to say quickly is, I'm going to kind of sum up what I wanted to tell you about, is that learn your hotkeys. Learn your hotkeys before anything else. Get these hotkeys down. Remember that the F key is one of the most important. Make sure you learn your cells and your repair, and make sure you know how to build quickly with your hotkeys. It's a lot more efficient than using just your mouse. It just takes too long. So, yeah, learn your hotkeys. It's time to begin my first little lesson here, which is effectively getting your base up and running.
Building.
Now let's see how much help these hotkeys can do.
Advanced aeronautics.
You see that?
Authorized.
That was really quickly to get my protocols, my walls, and my barracks all running up. All up and running. My computer's kind of laggy right now.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy
Because
here.
it's Fraps
New
running.
construction options.
Control.
Construction complete.
What do I have running here that would possibly be? I guess Firefox. Yeah, I guess so. Alright, back to the game.
Construction complete. Building.
So let's get my base up and running. I don't have an opponent
New
here.
Construction options.
So you want to get your
Building.
scouting up.
Training.
You know, you want to get your dogs going around and doing their thing. Try to send one dog around the side to fool your opponent into thinking he may have killed all your dogs. Well, you don't have to fool him, but it's just more efficient this way. Here's some more hotkey use, the Alt key, so you don't have to focus on these dogs.
Complete. New construction options. Building.
Need a repair? Analyzing schematics.
Construction complete. Where's the trouble? Building. Construction complete.
So anyways, this one's all about getting your economy up and going, getting your base up and going. Make sure you get all your walls, your refineries, make sure you master these hotkeys. So on this map in particular, Infinity Isle, you want to be expanding, especially if you're allies. No allies right now.
Oil derrick captured.
I'll get into more in-depth stuff later.
Prospector on duty.
Now, a lot of people prefer to build a power plant after the second refinery, then build the airfield. Sometimes, some people do that. I prefer airfield before power plants. People don't like it because you'll go in low power, and as we all know, low power puts you in slow production. So, another way to avoid that is to sell your barracks. Bam. Barracks is sold. Or boot camp in this case, because you're allies. But notice that you're not in low power anymore because you sold the barracks. Although it is pretty crappy that you sold the barracks. I mean, barracks is a fairly important structure to have. So anyways, when you get all this all set up and all done and over with, move your MCV. And another important thing is to remember to put your airfield close to the edge here. It's very important. Here's some things to keep an eye on, and I will explain this more right now as I'm doing this. Alright, so on any map, try to build your airfield towards your expansion. And I'll tell you why I'll tell you why right now. What the hell?
You're in good hands, my friend.
Is that
cannot deploy here.
Yeah, cannot deploy. It's because you want to you know how allies tech, right? You know how allies have a radius for their tech. Well, turns out that the tech lines or whatever you want to call it can actually go down levels, and as we all know, you can't build downhill. It just doesn't work like that.
Cannot deploy here. Insufficient funds.
But you can build up here. However, the tiering or the teching can go downhill, and you should keep that in mind when you build your airfield. Always build it towards your expansions.
Construction complete.
So we got my third refinery up. Say I'm gonna go. Say I feel like what the hell? I'm gonna go early tier 2.
Prospector on duty.
So we're gonna go tier 2, and this is more fits into why I built my airfield down here, nice up and close. One thing to keep in mind is that it's over here because it's also a shorter distance to get to your opponent's base. Another good idea is to have it over here as well, because you don't want to have your airfield here. This area is bad for an airfield. I mean, it's okay, but it's bad. It's bad because they can attack your airfield from here. Of course, you could build it further away from the cliff. That's okay too, but then you have the issues that when you send your aircraft back to base, they're flying really close to your opponent's units, which could result in your units being slain, or I should say destroyed. Now you can see the tech line going down here. This is tier 2. You can see on the lights, tier 1, tier 2. I can build cryocopters here.
Building.
So that makes things very important. If you have a barracks, the barracks will be tier 2 down here as well. So, another thing you should always keep in mind is sometimes it's okay to just garrison these civilian structures with javelin soldiers or peacekeepers.
Insufficient funds.
Let's run some field tests.
It's a great way to start off a match. Make sure you gain some control of your nearby structures, because if you don't, your opponent can actually use that against you, and you'll be like, darn, why didn't I garrison those earlier? And it might, and that'll help.
Options. Building.
So once again, I'm gaining more benefit of not having a barracks, as I'm still not in low power.
Building.
I'm also building that power plant.
Insufficient funds. Construction complete.
All is well. Equipment all looks
So
good.
I got all my air units over here. Could be doing harassment with them.
Cannot
Who knows?
deploy here.
Possibilities are quite endless. Not really endless, but there's still quite a bit. Anyways, that's a nice way. This is a nice build order to start off your base. I'll get more into that later. And I hope this helps for your basic base building as allies, and also some good reminders that learn those hotkeys. You gotta learn them. Those hotkeys are important. Alright, well, that's it for now.